Okay, Kata, let's start out by, if you can just give some information about the school, I mean, where this lesson is going to take place.
All right. This is a school downtown Budapest. It's a very, very well-renowned school all around the country. So a lot of very smart kids come here, and they can choose to come here for 4 years or 6 years, depending on their level of motivation at that early age. And this class is here for 6 years, so they have no specific focus in terms of subjects. If they come here older, then they usually pick science-related classes.
Right. And how many years have they been here thus far?
This is their first year. This is the end of their first year.
Okay. And this is a high school where teachers also practice?
That's true. So we are a teacher, trainer, kind of a center where a lot of trainees come to do
Okay. And this particular group, it's their first year here. How many years have they been learning English prior?
They probably have been learning English since first or second grade of elementary school, but they have very different experiences. So this is a very diverse group, even though they are the better group out of the two, because in this class there are originally 30 kids, and they divide them up into two groups, a more developed or advanced one, so to say, and then the beginners are kind of beginners. So these are the more advanced kids.
The advanced meaning sort of like
advanced
strong...
meaning better, like they have strong basics and they have somewhat better skills than the other students. They usually do a test at the beginning or at the end of the previous year so that we can place them into different
But they're
groups.
pre-intermediate?
Yes,
so they're like
they are. They are strong pre-intermediate students at this point.
And what book what course book do they normally use?
It's a New Opportunities Pre-Intermediate. We've been using this book for a long time in the school. And I think their pre-intermediate course book is a really good one. It's very detailed, but it gives them a kind of a good pace to develop their skills. And we are starting about the third of the book. So we have done 2/3 of it, and now it's the last bit of the book.
And generally, how much do you teach from the book or work from the book, and how much do you supplement?
I probably do about 50%. So I bring in a lot of extra materials. And even if I'm working with specific texts from the book, my additional exercises and assignments are from elsewhere.
Okay. And the lesson that I'm about to see, the lesson you're about to teach, this reality TV lesson,
This is not from the book. The book discusses the history of BBC and some radio-related issues, but I thought that we would need something from, real-life experiences or something that they would have experiences about from their everyday routine. And reality TV is not really mentioned at this point in the book, and I wanted to bring it in to grab something more interesting than just the history of BBC. Obviously, that for them would not be as interesting as talking about something real and contemporary.
Right,
so
because reality TV is relevant for
out
them.
there, yeah.
They watch reality TV, or
Probably most of them do, but even if they don't, they talk about it. They are smart enough to know that it's a kind of embarrassing to talk about these issues, so even if they love watching certain silly soap operas or reality TVs, they would never admit it to the public.
All right. But to each other?
To each other, yes. Or if we formulate questions through which they feel that it's really a contemporary issue to discuss and not just something lame, then it's okay.
And how comfortable are they with talking, being open with each other, with speaking English with each other?
Most of them are very open. They love talking. They don't pay attention to accuracy as much as just trying to fluently communicate their ideas. However, some of them are super confident, which makes some others not as confident as the rest. So as you will see, there are 2 or 3 people who are not as talkative as the others out front. But when you start making them work in groups or pairs, everybody is opening up. So they really like doing pair work because not everybody else is listening to them, but they have the chance to talk.
Right.
And I think they're very good at staying focused and working in pairs on different tasks.
Okay. Can you talk me through the aims of the lesson? So the aims.
Yeah, I think mainly it's important that they can talk about TV and TV-related phenomena in general, and for that they need a more specific set of vocabulary so that they can use more sophisticated words. And I would also like them to understand related texts and not just talk about them vaguely, but be more to the point about specific TV-related expressions. And also, I'm going to give them a text, and I would like them to finally understand it and be able to talk about it in details using the specific vocabulary that the text is using, so that they will be able to understand more difficult TV-related texts in the future as well. Right. And of course, since reality TV is a very controversial issue, it would be nice to hear them debate about it to certain extents and to form opinions and to make judgments, but at the same time stay objective so that they can prove their points, because I think it's very important for them to be able to justify whatever they are saying. And when it comes to exams, it's also important what they say and not only how they say it. And a lot of those topics are controversial issues.
Okay. So it sounds like the lesson aims are focused on, really you've mentioned speaking on this topic area, vocabulary, and reading. Right. Is there, what would you say is the balance? So to what extent is it, you know, a reading lesson or a speaking lesson? Or, I mean, it's integrated probably, but
yes,
but is there...
I would say like, I would really want it to be 50-50, but I'm pretty sure that it would be like 60% speaking and 40% reading, because I know that they love talking. And I think it's easier for them to do a certain set of tasks in pairs about the text, so they are going to talk about the text, but they also have to do the reading task at the same time.
Okay. What problems do you anticipate, or what worries do you have about the lesson content, language skills?
It's something related to this, that maybe for some of them, there are going to be so many complicated words that they'll just give up. So I try to focus on pairing them up in a way that maybe one student would be more talented at explaining words, even if they didn't understand all of them. And when it comes to the true or false sentences, I really wonder if they are going to still focus on the text, or they love sharing their opinions, so maybe they will try to justify whether the statement is true or false based on their own experience or beliefs and sticking to the text. I think it's very important for them to learn to stick to the text. Right. Even in their mother tongue, they don't really do that.
I see. Interesting. Anything else with classroom management or behavioral things, given their age? Or?
Well, I think just this very unusual situation will kind of calm them down, but I'm also afraid that some of the more talkative ones will be rather calm this time too. Because
of the video.
Because of the video, yeah, they are not really. I mean, they are used to being watched by teacher trainees, but not, you know, video cameras and professional people in general. So I'm wondering how they will handle that kind of stress, or whether they realize that even though they are working in pairs, they have to stick to English. Because if it's a regular class, sometimes whenever they are working on a task, they would utter a couple of Hungarian words, and it's okay if the basic language of their work is English. But this time, I don't think they, you know, they would do that. They would rather remain silent, and that's not a good solution. So
I see.
You see about that.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a few minutes to get your head together, and look forward to seeing the lesson and talk to you after. Yep. Okay, thank you.